Well, I think for our school board, for years we'd been working with success plans, and we'd be looking at many qualitative types of goals. But we had to make a change to make more of a targeted focus, to not just put together SMART goals, but to focus on our student success and to sort of drill down to see where we needed to focus our energies, be it financial, be it educational, be it support services. We also, in our last strategic plan, our most recent strategic plan, what we changed the most was, first of all, our vision. We made it really simple. We went like, it's about student success, period. That's what our new vision is for the last couple of years. And we have a theme in our school board that every employee is of equal importance if they have student success as their focus. So in our new strategic plan, we wanted to not just focus on the educational, instructional pieces only. We wanted to bring in the other departments and the other support services to see how they contribute daily to student success, which is our product. So that's the new part. But what we've learned over the years is to really pay attention to data. And what does the data tell us? What does evidence tell us that we're doing in the classroom? Whether, how will it change our instructional practices, like moving into common formative assessment and these types of things. But it also showed us what was working. Yes, I think what we've been able to do quite well here at New Frontiers is we have something called Mesa Days that I believe there's one actually going on today that you might be able to witness some of it, where we bring teachers and teams, principal as well, from each of the schools and centers together at the school board regularly to work on larger goals, larger strategies, theory, etc. And then they bring them back to the schools and centers and work with the teams there. And what we try to do is change who these teams are, who these leadership teams are, so we're not always using the same teachers, the same consultants, but the consultants are very hands-on as well. I mean, we looked at the PLC model, the work of Rick DeFore, etc. We've worked on building PLCs, but what's come out of that, we improved our instructional practices in the classroom with work and support, regular support from Barry Bennett. And that sort of led us towards common formative assessments. And we're quite proud as a school board to have every one of our elementary schools working with common formative assessment in English language arts, math, and with French.
So from our goal teams and from that reporting out aspect, what it's done is it's given the model for our schools and our centers then to take that setup with their lead teams, along with the support that we've been able to develop through the evidence-based.
I think being a small school board for us has sometimes helped us. We're very open-minded and very innovative, our teachers are, but dealing with change is always a little bit difficult. But I think involving teachers early on in the change makes the change management and makes the transition much easier. And I think our Educational Services Department has done a very good job to listen to what the teachers are saying as they move through the change. Change is a scary thing, but data has helped us prove to our teachers, especially those teachers who might be resistant to change, that we need to change, and here's the proof, and this is what's going to drive our instruction. Well, there's always the budgetary challenge. I mean, really, we've worked hard at convincing our school board, both the management as well as the political governance component of our school board, that we need to invest into professional development at all costs. We need to focus on instructional practices and support them. So every decision that we make, we've got to put student success first, and we have to put our initiatives first. So that's tough, budgetary-wise. But the other one is just, again, managing change. People don't like to manage change, and we're in the process of fixing and developing our teacher enhancement program and development program. We have to continue to work at that to make sure that our educational team is comfortable with being evaluated, being assessed on a regular basis. I think that's a challenge that we have, but it's a necessary evil if you want to call it that, that we must do if we were going to go up to that next level. That co-teaching, that opening up your classroom to other teachers, more and more of that has to happen. That's a challenge, but we're getting there.
And a challenge that it will always exist is always the challenge of, as there's turnover in schools, as you have new staff, changes in administration, as we face some of those realities, it's making sure that everybody is communicated, is in the know, and is on that same level of understanding and knowledge. So those are always some key challenges that we have. But we are moving it into the high school, so that is definitely our the next phase and our next challenge.
Well, I think the journey that we've taken and what's been unique to New Frontiers is we're able to get all our principals and a representative team of 4 to 5 educators or teachers from schools and put them in the same room and hear the same message and share the same discussions and opinions. That's been helpful. Small is good. Being Director General of this board, I don't have to be briefed all the time on what's going on because I can see it or hear it myself. And whenever possible, I try to get involved as well. So I think that's been helpful for us. We don't have different regions, etc. We're able to, our community thinks we have a large territory, but we don't. And we're able to bring our teams together regularly, and I think that's very helpful. What's also, I think, extremely important for New Frontiers and where we are finding success is we transition many students from the high school to the adult centers, and we've also actively involved our adult centers in the professional development journey. We've worked with Barry Bennett with our adult sector to improve our instructional practices. They're also building and working with PLCs, and they do also take advantage and participate in our MESA days, where we look at some of the big picture strategies and move forward. So that's been very helpful.
I think the largest indicator that we're probably the most proud of is probably that common language. It's the language that's being used around, whether it be at the board office, whether it be in a school, or whether it be in a center. You're hearing the same vocabulary. You're hearing the teams that are meeting having the same focus, moving in the same direction. I think that has definitely been a major indicator for us beyond schools identifying, okay, we've increased by 3% in this subject area, we increased by 5% in this subject area. They're more focused on, not the brush strokes where you're talking about, okay, well, we need to improve our math results. Well, what does that mean? They're breaking it down to saying, okay, we need to be working on our C1s because within the C1 we're struggling. Our students are having difficulty deciphering exactly what information is required for them to be able to actually apply the competency and the knowledge that they have. So how are we going to do that? And then they're drilling down to the next level and analyzing and breaking down what the students have been doing on certain, gathering some of the results from those, and then developing and coming up with ways to then support those students by taking a step back. And it's those conversations that are happening, whether it be in math, English, French, history, science, physical education. That's happening across the system. And those rich conversations, that's where we're seeing the results.
Well, I would advise a school board who is moving into a journey, such as a journey we've taken, is to, first of all, go slow. Going slow doesn't mean not doing anything or procrastinating, but go slow, be open-minded, and really take the time to hear the different ideas and the concerns. And you have to really have a plan and a process laid out. Don't try to do it all in one shot. That famous drive-by professional development won't work for you. You really have to have a plan on how you're going to sort of build on and build up.
Potentially, if there was, again, some of the elements that we would probably do slightly differently would be to have more opportunity that was built into school schedules that allow for the teams back in the school level to collaborate more. If there was something that moving forward that we're going to be looking at, and if it would have been an opportunity to have that embedded from the start, I think that would definitely have been an area that would have helped to support it even further for those conversations, and not relying on the professional days, not relying on where administrators are being creative to create time or other. That if there was some embedded time within each of the teacher schedules that allowed for that a little bit more, I would say that that would be something that would have been an added aspect.